Hey guys, Tim Sykes here. It's a big day. Today has been decades in the making. It's official now. My charity's first $1 million donation is going to Pencils of Promise. You can see the press release here, and this is going to build 20 plus schools, and also not just build the schools, but also support them with teaching the teachers how to be better teachers, how to optimize the whole classroom experience. Is going to e-readers so the kids can start learning using new technologies. And this is the single largest donation in Pencils of Promise history. Very proud of that. They have some big donors like Justin Bieber. They've now built nearly 400 schools worldwide. And this will be 20 schools across Ghana, Guatemala, and Laos to be completed in the next few years. And I had a nice quote in the press release. I said, I believe knowledge truly is power, and education is key to the future of our children. That's why it's my personal mission to support education in communities that are in desperate need of some of the everyday resources that many of us take for granted. And I have seen firsthand some of the amazing work Pencils of Promise does around the world, and I'm proud to help them further their mission. And frankly, I mean, this is just a very proud day for me. This is why we make money, okay? Obviously, you want to live well, you want the freedom, you want to take care of your family, but if you can use money to really start changing the world, and not be like so selfish like I think a lot of people who have money are, amazing things are possible. And frankly, I'm very grateful to Pencils of Promise for being such a great charity. You know, I work with dozens of charities, but so far they're the best. And I'm also just grateful for the experiences of being able to travel. I'm actually filming this. I'm in Asia, and I'm actually going to visit one of my other schools that's about to open in a few weeks, or a few days now, actually. And I just love going to these countries and getting a new perspective. That's what life is all about. That's what education is all about. Getting different perspectives to help you really understand the world better. And the cool thing is that this is going to teach 26,000 students over the next few years. So thank you to all of you guys. You know, I wouldn't have gotten here without you. You know, I'm a pretty good trader, but I think I'm a better teacher. And frankly, thanks to you guys and helping me find my passion, you know, it's all a journey, okay? And you watching this, yes, you, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in the world, no matter how big or small your account is, doesn't matter if you're paper trading, doesn't matter if you're my challenge student or a silver subscriber or Tim Alerts, or if you're just flat broke and you're just watching videos to try to learn, that's fine. Whatever you can do to be a part of my journey, I appreciate it, because without you guys, frankly, you know, life is boring, and it's very fulfilling for me to teach, and now it's very fulfilling for me to give back. And I can't say enough about Pencils of Promise. This is their Instagram, and they're also on Twitter, and you can follow them, pencilsofpromise.org. This was me in Laos a few weeks ago at my first school that I built. Load. You can see how bad my Wi-Fi is. People joke like, oh, you shouldn't make your excuse about bad Wi-Fi, but it's true. I mean, I can barely. All right, that loads. Good. And this was my school in Laos. And so bad Wi-Fi does influence things. The cool thing is I actually have made money today. I've made roughly $1,000. You know, this is JAGX. I want to talk about that for a second. And thank you guys for everybody congratulating me on the $1 million donation. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't respond to everybody. It's getting kind of insane lately. I want to talk about stocks for a second, though, because I'm filming this, by the way, it's a little after 1 a.m. for me here in Asia. And I just want to show you the dedication required. Like, okay, donated $1 million, big day, cool. Now let's get to what actually makes the money, and that's stock trading and teaching. So JAGX was my nice dip buy yesterday. I warned I didn't want to chase it. So this is a play where, you know, it doesn't have a good history of holding its spikes, so I don't want to chase it. I definitely didn't want to chase it here. It also helped that when it really spiked 30% late yesterday, I was asleep because it was like 3 in the morning here. I'll stay up till like 1 or 2, but 3, 4, 5 in the morning, that's pushing it. Yesterday I bought it at 80 cents, and 80 cents for the past 2 days has been a damn good entry level. It dropped really quickly from 90 down to 75 yesterday. I couldn't get filled, but we got a nice morning spike, bounce back, and then it pretty much held 80 cents all day yesterday. And late day was the real big spike here. from 80 cents all the way up to $1.05. I mean, this is a 30% spike. So don't underestimate this stock's spikeability or bounceability. That said, again, I didn't want to chase it. I warned in chat. I didn't want to hold an overnight position because, frankly, I was worried about another morning panic like this. And that's exactly what we got. Down from 85, and it actually touched 76. I was trying to get executed at 77, 78, 79. Not that it mattered because the bounce, it did bounce right back to the 90s. It was so quick. And if I had bought it, people would have been like, oh, Sykes, you pumped it. It's only bouncing because, you bought it. Well, I didn't buy it, and the bounce was the exact same as yesterday. What you guys have to learn is whether I trade it, whether I alert it, these patterns play out the exact same. And that's kind of a cool thing. Even though I missed my buy attempt here at 76, 77, 78, and I even changed it to 80, and I just couldn't get executed because it was literally all in 1 minute. Other people had the same idea from yesterday. But I know several students who did nail it, 77, 78, and they're out at 86, 87, 88, 90, 92, and they're making, 10, 15% on the bounce. And again, even now it's holding 80 cents again. So if you dip by these morning panics on contract winners, it's usually a pretty good idea. Another trade that I did was shorting DRYS. Oh, I'm on a 10-year chart. This has been a crazy spiker, and now over the past month, it's just been dropping almost every single day. Down from 30 with all their splits down to 1. In the past few days, I mean, you can't really see it on this chart, but it actually has bounced a little bit. From 2 up to 6, and I was shorting it in here in the mids 5s this morning using E-Trade. E-Trade had shares to short, Interactive Brokers did not. But I actually cut losses quickly because, frankly, I was just scared. I was scared of this stock. When you don't have great Wi-Fi, when you're in a choppy stock, especially when I'm using my small E-Trade account, which I started the year with 5,000, it's now up to around 7,000. I lost like 30 bucks. But more importantly, I was on the right track. This is kind of the cool thing. Even when I'm wrong, okay? Even when I miss a play like JAGX, okay, no money lost. DRYS, I was dead on right to short it in the high 5s. I was wrong to cut losses and play it so safe. But I was on the right track. And you'll see that pretty often. OSTK was my big winner today. It's actually dropping. This is a potential dip buy for me because this is a multi-month breakout really over like 1910. So actually, I mean, this is midday. If this was closer to the market close, I might actually be dip buying right now. But this one was a nice earnings winner. I missed the initial spike, but I got the dip. So this was the initial spike from the 18s all the way up to 2030. And I was buying it on the dip in here in the high 19s and selling right near when it did break to new highs around 2040, but it's up a lot. And now we just have this solid downtrend. So pretty good trade for me, made roughly $1,000, missed out on JAGX, took a small loss on DRYS. PULM is also spiking, so this will be in play. But this is what I do, guys. I just keep trading. Sometimes I miss plays, sometimes I make them. But overall, it makes more money over time than the money that I lose. And that's why I'm able to donate, $1 million. This is, frankly, my biggest achievement in life so far. Okay, not just having $1 million, but being able to give back and influence. I love this number. I'm just going to keep highlighting this number, 26,000 students. And some people say, oh, Tim, you shouldn't talk about this stuff. Just donate and do it in silence. That's like trading in silence. That's like being some of these screenshot heroes where they just show a screenshot. Oh, look, I nailed this short. Oh, I bought this one. And they don't even show their position size or their exit. And they just show like a cropped photo. I'm going to show every single thing that I do, okay? Because I believe in full transparency. This isn't bragging. This is inspiring and educating. I am an average guy. I'm working off a laptop in the middle of freaking Asia in the middle of the freaking night on shitty Wi-Fi. And I'm still able to make roughly $1,000 today. And didn't trade perfectly, missed a trade, cut losses too quickly on one. But you do this every single day, it adds up. I just got to go through my Twitter for a second for a few people. So many of you guys are tweeting me. Derek loves stocks to trade. John, I don't care if you're just making, having 35 shares and making $1 a share on DRYS. DRYS was actually a great overnight hold. So making $35 on a $250 account, that's a good start. Josh made some good money and he made $1,000. I don't care if you make $35 or $1,000. We all start somewhere, okay? And most of my millionaire students and I started with just a few $1,000s. So don't ever listen to the negativity that you see from some of these rich people on Twitter and rich people in the world, where they're like, oh, this is so little money, and they try and make you feel small and they try and put you down so that they feel more important with their own miserable, shitty lives. Most rich people that I meet are miserable, okay? Because they're not giving back. They're not teaching. They're not using their money and their knowledge in the right way. So if anybody ever puts you down, John, for 35 shares, you tell them, fuck off. Pisses me off that there's so much negativity and BS, because we all start somewhere, and making $1 a share, you learn the process, and that's awesome. So Josh making 1,000, John making $35, Jay, I don't even know how to pronounce your name, just made 673 on PULM, and I like this. He's like, still don't believe Timothy Sykes? Y'all must not like making money. I appreciate that. It's not just about the money, though. It's also about the education. The education is what leads to money. That's why I love donating $1 million to support school builds and innovation, because it's the knowledge, it's the studying, it's the education that leads to people's futures, okay? And if you ignore education, you are lost. You have no future. Part of the reason why I love Pencils of Promise so much is that a lot of these kids have no other choice, okay? If you ever visit some of these third world countries, the families are so poor and impoverished that the kids have to go to work just to survive. And when they have to go to work, they're not working at any skilled jobs because they have no education. So it creates this whole circle of impoverishment, and the kids have no way of getting out. They grow up, they're just trying to feed their families. You got to respect that. They can't even afford school, because in these countries, you actually have to pay for school because these schools have so little funding and so little supply. So that's why Pencils of Promise and charities like this are so key. You watching this are very lucky. You're luckier than 99% of the world, and you don't even realize it. You have internet. You have the ability to learn from an electronic device. These kids that Pencils of Promise donates to, they don't have electronic devices. Do you know how Pencils of Promise got its name? Its founder, Adam Braun, was actually, I believe, in India, and he asked this, kid, what do you want if you could have anything in the world? And the kid replied he wanted a pencil. And it blew Adam's mind that out of anything in the world, this little boy, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe this little boy wanted a pencil just to draw and expand, his brain. And that's beautiful. That's what education should be for. So I want you guys to have the right mindset. And that's why I'm calling out all my students. I don't care what your account size is. I also wrote an article on Entrepreneur today. You can see this in my Twitter, 5 Daily Habits to Optimize Your 2017. Ed made nearly 300. Mina and Misha, thank you for retweeting my Pencils of Promise. I appreciate it if you guys share this on Twitter and just tag me, and I'll retweet you, because we need to get the word out, okay? It's not enough just for me to donate. I'm not the richest person in the world. We need to get more exposure for Pencils of Promise and education, and that's why I talk about this stuff. Gabe made 240 on DRYS. David played a bit too safe, but he made $200, and now he's dancing like this guy. Hugo, I love this, making, $300 plus on DRYS. Ashley left 150 on the table, but the hubby made $1 a share on DRYS as they're driving. And, she's got choppy Wi-Fi too. So you can do this from anywhere. Look at them driving. Oh, come on, load. Look at this. This is a miserable drive, and they're making money while they're driving. That's freaking awesome. Brian bought the Morning Panic, sold on the bounce for $100. Terry made 20% on DRYS. Carell made almost 1,000. David, awesome job on DRYS. Sometimes, you're forced to hold because of the PDT rule. Worked out in his favor, nearly doubled his money. Sardor made nearly 1,000. Johnny made 240 in 8 minutes. There's just so many of you guys, and I'm not going to get to everybody. I got to go. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm fading fast. But just a big morning for me. And please, I'd appreciate it if you do share this on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Help me get the word out about Pencils of Promise. Help me get the word out about education. And it's so important. So if you understand that, leave a comment with the words pencils of promise. Let's see how many of you guys are actually watching all these videos and really understanding. And thank you, Pencils of Promise, for being such a great organization. And thanks to all of you guys again for helping me find my passion. Appreciate it.